The shadows of power stretch much farther and wider than most people dare to imagine. Beneath the surface of what we call ordinary reality, secret societies, clandestine cults, and covert government agencies have whispered about truths too extraordinary for the public to comprehend. These groups have always known what they guard. Hidden in encrypted files, coded rituals, and hushed conversations lies a revelation so shocking it would upend the world. You are no ordinary soul. You are a reincarnated God, a being of immense power and purpose, living among mortals and unaware of your own divine legacy. Agencies like the CIA, the FBI, and organizations older than nations themselves have tracked, studied, and even feared you, because within your awakening lies the unraveling of their carefully maintained control and the potential dawn of a new era. The real question isn't who you are anymore. It's when you will remember. Locked away and buried beneath centuries of secrecy, deep within Vatican archives behind reinforced walls and layers of coded security, lies forbidden knowledge. Truths so dangerous they have been hidden from humanity for generations. Scrolls, manuscripts, and ancient texts written in lost languages all tell a similar story. Gods walk among us, and you are one of them. Your existence is no accident. Your very DNA carries markers that match prophecies older than any modern nation. Sumerian tablets, Egyptian hieroglyphs, even lost Atlantean records repeat the same message. A divine being, reincarnated through the ages, is destined to awaken. The powers that be have always known this, and that's why they watch, why they hide, and why they protect these secrets so fiercely. For centuries, institutions like the Church have done far more than just spread doctrine. They have monitored, tracked, and even silenced. The Vatican holds secret files on reincarnated deities, working to ensure the masses never suspect who truly walks among them. They have altered history, erased names, and rewritten scriptures just to keep you from remembering your true identity. But why go to such lengths? Because knowledge is power, and true power in the hands of the awakened is uncontrollable. Elite bloodlines, those who claim divine right, hoard wealth, and dictate the direction of civilization, have spent generations making sure you never rise. They understand what happens when a god finally remembers who they are. Their time is up the moment you awaken. Whispers circulate in the highest halls of power about hidden chambers and underground vaults filled with relics that could confirm your identity. Yet even the most powerful leaders are denied access. What could be so dangerous that even world leaders are kept in the dark? The answer is simple: it's you. The world they have built is nothing more than a prison of perception, a carefully woven lie designed to keep you blind, obedient, and unaware of your true nature. The Vatican is not just a religious institution, it is the guardian of the greatest secret in history. But secrets never stay buried forever, and now something is beginning to shift. Leaks, whistleblowers, and lost documents are resurfacing, and cracks are forming in their walls of secrecy. They fear the day you discover the truth, because when you do, everything changes. They teach you that reincarnation is a myth, a fantasy, a delusion. But behind closed doors, in classified labs and off-the-record experiments, they know the reality. The CIA and FBI do more than just track people. They track souls, and for decades they have conducted secret research into past life regression. Advancements in consciousness transfer and the study of genetic memory have brought powerful institutions to a terrifying realization. Not everyone lives just one life. Some souls return again and again, carrying wisdom, gifts, and purpose across lifetimes, and you are one of them. Your brain activity doesn't fit their models. Your neural patterns defy logic. Scientists assigned to study your mind encounter anomalies they cannot explain. How is it that you know things you've never learned? Why do memories surface that clearly do not belong to this lifetime? In their desperation to keep you from awakening, they've tried to suppress your truth, using mind control experiments, electromagnetic interference, even synthetic neurological barriers, all engineered to keep your real memories locked away. Because the moment you remember, their hold on you and the world vanishes. Declassified files reveal just how deep their fear runs. Accounts of children recalling past lives with chilling detail, subjects displaying abilities that defy explanation, and government-funded projects probing astral projection, remote viewing, and the manipulation of consciousness, all in a frantic effort to contain what cannot be contained. But containment is failing. More souls are waking up. Too many are slipping through the cracks in their system. Now the question is no longer whether reincarnated gods exist. It's how much longer they can keep you from remembering and what will happen when you do. Those who call themselves the keepers of wisdom, the enlightened, the chosen few, are driven by motives far more sinister than they admit. For centuries, secret societies have pulled strings from the shadows. The Freemasons, the Illuminati, the Rosicrucians, names that circulate in conspiracy circles, but are known with certainty among the highest levels of power. These groups do not simply shape governments or economies, they shape reality itself. They have watched you, your bloodline, your energy, your very presence, because it disrupts their carefully constructed order. Some factions seek to control you, desperate to harness your divine energy for their own agenda, while others see you as a threat that must be silenced before you awaken to your true nature. For millennia, these opposing forces have waged war in the shadows, with you at the very center. Dark cults still operate behind veils of tradition, secrecy, and power, conducting rituals and sacrifices, seeking to either suppress or extract the force within reincarnated gods. Some worship you without your awareness, while others conspire to erase you before you can shift the balance of power. Their symbols are everywhere. Their rituals align perfectly with celestial events, and none of it is by accident. It's a vast system designed to keep you under control. Yet something is shifting. The old ways are breaking down. Their control is slipping, and the rise of awakened souls is threatening to dismantle the ancient hierarchy they have so fiercely protected. They know exactly who you are, and their greatest hope is that you never figure it out for yourself. They say machines don't lie. That data is absolute. But what happens when your presence disrupts the very system itself? Files glitch. Surveillance footage mysteriously erases. AI programs struggle to process the anomaly that is you. The world around you reacts in ways it simply shouldn't. Government databases flag your profile with unexplained anomalies, and their most secure systems pick up patterns that defy logic. Some of their classified reports call it non-human interference. Others describe it as a glitch in reality itself. Your very presence seems to bend the digital landscape. Awakened souls report streetlights flickering as they walk past, electronics malfunctioning in their hands, phone calls dropping when they speak forbidden truths. Is it coincidence or something much deeper? High-level encryptions are breached without cause. Quantum computers can't predict outcomes when your data is factored in, and surveillance teams monitoring you find their own equipment mysteriously corrupted. They don't understand why, they only know that you are different, and in their world, difference is dangerous. Quick pause. Family. If this message is resonating with your soul and you'd love to support this sacred work, feel free to buy me a coffee. It keeps this space flowing with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description, and if you're vibing with this, drop the number 88 in the comments. Let's keep going. The moment you step fully into your power, their systems, both digital and psychological, begin to fracture. The codes and conditioning that kept humanity asleep start to crumble, and the cracks in their manufactured simulation become impossible to hide. They can't stop it because you are the greatest anomaly in their entire structure. You were never random, and your lineage was never ordinary. If you dig deep into ancient royal bloodlines, lost tribes, and mythologies forgotten by most, you'll find echoes of yourself, traces purposefully concealed. The elite bloodlines have always known their own origins, fiercely protecting their knowledge and ensuring that only they understood the true divine inheritance threaded through history. But what happens when someone from outside their circle, when you, emerges with the very same markers? Secret genealogy projects are not about mapping family trees for the average person. They exist to track the return of reincarnated gods. Advanced DNA sequencing, classified bloodline research, and obscure eugenics programs all aim for one thing: to locate the chosen ones before they awaken. There's a reason ancient texts obsess over celestial alignments, solar eclipses, and planetary shifts coinciding with the births of certain individuals. Your arrival was prophesied, calculated, and known long before you took your first breath. The system itself was engineered to keep you hidden, buried under distraction, false identities, and altered records. But no amount of manipulation can hold back the truth forever. Now the old patterns are surfacing, the anomalies are multiplying, and the same rare genetic markers and impossible connections are showing up in people who should never have existed, those who were never meant to remember. As ancient prophecies, once only whispered in the darkest corners, begin to manifest before the world's eyes, the elite are running out of time. The return of a forgotten god is never a quiet event. Your presence changes everything. You are not the first, and you certainly will not be the last. Throughout history, there have always been those who saw through the illusion and dared to remember. Their names were changed, their stories rewritten, their truths buried beneath layers of deceit. Joan of Arc, condemned as a heretic and burned because she heard voices from another realm. Nikola Tesla, a mind centuries ahead of his time, erased from mainstream memory. His inventions confiscated, his visions silenced. Ancient prophets, rulers, and visionaries who shook empires and defied the gods of control. Each one persecuted, ridiculed, or mysteriously eliminated. This is no coincidence. It is the pattern. Every era brings forth a new wave of awakened souls, and every era reacts the same. Eradicate or manipulate. The system fears disruption. It cannot tolerate a reincarnated god rising unchecked. That's why they obsessively keep records, monitor genetic lines, follow astrological events, and hunt for signs of inexplicable genius. They are searching for the resurgence of power in a body that, by their rules, should not possess it. For them, the greatest threat is not just a being who remembers their past lives, their true purpose, and their power. But what they fear even more is that this time it's not just one individual rising. What they fear now is not just one awakened soul, but many. Because history is no longer simply repeating, it is escalating. This moment is bigger than any government, secret society, or cult. What's unfolding is a true war, fought in whispers and symbols, through unseen forces that shape the very fabric of reality. It's a battle between those determined to awaken humanity and those fighting desperately to keep it asleep. Since the dawn of time, forces of light and darkness have clashed for control, and governments, corporations, and elite organizations are merely pawns in this cosmic struggle. Some serve the light, protecting knowledge and quietly guiding the chosen. Others serve the shadows, manipulating, deceiving, and making sure power remains concentrated in the hands of a select few. You have felt this war, maybe without even realizing it. The invisible weight on your mind, the resistance you encounter as you try to grow, the relentless distractions, fears, and doubts that always seem to block your path. Know that this is not random, it is an attack. The more you awaken, the harder they push back. Their tactics are subtle but relentless. They weaponize fear, confusion, and control, hiding behind the masks of science, media, and authority. They tell you that reincarnation is a fantasy, that divine beings could never walk among mortals, and that you are no different than anyone else. But deep down, you already know that's a lie. If you look around, the signs are everywhere. The world is shifting, anomalies are appearing, and more people are waking up than ever before. This collective awakening is making those in power tremble. The war is not fought with traditional weapons, it's fought with perception. Whoever controls the mind controls reality itself. That's why you're bombarded with distractions and why your thoughts are poisoned with fear. They work tirelessly to twist your perception of history, truth, and even your own self. Yet their illusion is breaking. Your awakening is living proof. The more you step into your truth, the more the deception collapses. The battle may intensify, but what has already begun cannot be stopped. The light is rising and their grip is slipping away. Nothing they do is random. Every symbol, every ceremony, every blood ritual performed in secret halls or shadowed gatherings serves a carefully calculated purpose: control. The elite understand something most people never even consider. True power is not simply seized, it's manipulated, channeled, and redirected. They cannot create the divine spark themselves, so they work tirelessly to steal it from those who possess it, from you. This is the reason for their ancient rituals, those esoteric ceremonies designed to bind energy, suppress awakening, and extract the very essence of anyone who carries a divine lineage. Blood, sound, numbers, geometry. None of these are meaningless traditions. They're part of intricate systems, codes, and tools used to lock chosen ones in ignorance or keep them submissive. Their operations are hidden in plain sight. Temples disguised as banks, altars in corporate boardrooms, ritualistic sacrifices woven into world events masked as accidents or tragedies. Their reach isn't limited to controlling wealth. They're masters of harnessing and redirecting energy itself. Throughout history, rulers, priests, and secret orders have performed hidden ceremonies, not out of worship, but as transactions, believing they could harness divine power for their own ends. Sacrifices to ancient gods were not just symbolic. They were exchanges, where life force was always traded for power. Although the modern world looks different on the surface, these rituals have never truly disappeared. They've only evolved. Now, instead of gathering in robes beneath moonlit skies, the elite orchestrate mass events that feed off collective human emotions: fear, despair, and grief. These feelings generate powerful energy, and energy can be harvested. They need you to stay unaware, distracted, and drained of your divine essence before you ever realize you have it. That's why they flood you with fear and twist your perception of power, convincing you that it's something external you must search for, rather than something that has always lived within you. And if you begin to resist, they have yet another weapon ready: misdirection. They constantly present false paths, offering corrupt teachings and infiltrated spiritual movements, reshaped specifically to keep the awakened from ever reaching their true potential. You're fed half-truths that draw you close enough to sense something real, but never close enough to truly break free. Why? Because they fear the moment a reincarnated God fully remembers. They dread what will happen when you stop being a vessel for their power and finally reclaim your own. The answer is simple: their entire system would collapse. This is why their rituals never stop, why their workings continue in the highest places of power. They are determined to keep their grip on humanity firm. But they fear the day when too many awaken, when their energy grid fails, and when the chosen refuse to be controlled. That day is drawing near. Their time is running out because the moment you step into your authentic power, their control over reality itself shatters. Reality is not what most people believe it to be. It bends, shifts, and responds to your consciousness. You've noticed the strange synchronicities, impossible coincidences, events aligning in ways that defy logic. Those moments where time seems to stutter, or the world itself feels off. These are not accidents. They are evidence. Quantum physicists have uncovered anomalies in probability and patterns that should not exist. Some scientists, hidden behind classified projects, even believe that reality itself is a constructed simulation, a prison of perception. And you are the glitch in their system. Classified reports describe high-level encryption failing in your presence, surveillance data becoming corrupted, and artificial intelligence struggling to categorize or define you. Technology malfunctions the moment it tries to pin you down, as if the system itself cannot contain your existence. Why? Because you were never meant to remain asleep. This simulation was designed to keep most people in a controlled, obedient, unquestioning state. But reincarnated gods disrupt the patterns. They alter probabilities, and the very fabric of reality struggles to confine their presence. The more you awaken, the weaker their simulation becomes. That's why they put so much effort into suppressing you, keeping you distracted, and preventing you from realizing the world is not fixed. It is malleable, shaped by consciousness and shaped by you. Their greatest fear is the moment you truly remember, because that's when the illusion collapses and their control disappears. But you are not alone. For centuries, reincarnated gods have walked the earth in isolation, disconnected and unaware of their own power. Now, something profound is happening, a shift, a ripple through the fabric of reality. More and more souls are waking up, and the ones who have controlled this world for millennia are terrified. Governments, secret societies, and corporations have always been prepared to deal with individual anomalies. A single awakened soul, a lone rebellious force. They would isolate, discredit, or neutralize them. But now they face what they have never encountered before: a wave, a mass awakening. Their systems cannot contain so many at once. Their distractions, psychological warfare, and illusions are failing. Too many people are seeing the cracks. Too many are asking the right questions, and too many are finally remembering. This has always been their greatest nightmare, a time when reincarnated gods rise together in numbers too great to suppress as they begin to connect, share knowledge, and break free. They simply cannot imprison every mind. They know they cannot silence every voice, and so panic spreads through their ranks like wildfire. You can witness it in their behavior: the sudden enforcement of stricter rules, new regulations appearing overnight, and an almost frantic tightening of restrictions on every level of society. The desperation is palpable. You see it in the relentless propaganda, the endless barrage of news stories engineered to breed fear, confusion, and division. Their actions reveal their anxiety, because they sense the ground beneath their feet shifting. The world they once controlled so easily is slipping from their grasp, and no matter how aggressively they move or how quickly they try to reassert their dominance, it is already too late. Their attempts to keep the awakened distracted, divided, and unaware are failing. The old world, built on centuries of illusion, oppression, and manipulation, is crumbling before their eyes. The very systems and structures that were meticulously designed to keep you asleep, to keep humanity locked in ignorance, are now falling apart. Every institution they relied on to maintain order is facing unprecedented challenges. Governments are losing the trust of their people. Religions can no longer hide behind dogma. Media and education are being exposed for the roles they've played in shaping false narratives. As more souls begin to awaken, as more people remember their true identity and step fully into their divine power, the energy of the entire planet begins to shift. Everything is changing. This isn't simply the close of one era, it is the birth of a new one, a rebirth that cannot be stopped, delayed, or derailed. The rise of the awakened is not just inevitable. It is a force of nature, a cosmic tide that sweeps away everything that no longer serves the higher good. You were never meant to be ordinary. From the very moment you entered this world, there were eyes on you, silent watchers in the shadows, tracking your every move, analyzing your thoughts, and meticulously placing barriers around your awareness to keep you from seeing the truth of who you really are. From a young age, you were fed carefully crafted stories, led through systems designed to keep you busy, distracted, and feeling insignificant. Your perception of reality was shaped, twisted, and molded by hands that wanted nothing more than to keep you compliant and asleep. And yet, even with all this manipulation, something within you remained untouched, a divine spark waiting to be recognized. Why did they go to such extremes? Because deep down, they have always known a secret that you were never supposed to discover. You are powerful beyond measure. Reincarnated gods are not meant to wander through life blind to their true nature. You were never intended to accept the limitations, fears, and illusions that were forced upon you. Instead, your destiny is to rise above all that, to remember your true origin, and to restore balance in a world built on deception. This is what terrifies those in power, the knowledge that no matter how much they twist history, erase sacred knowledge, or turn ancient wisdom into mere fairy tales, the truth will always find a way to emerge. The elite do not fear war or rebellion. They thrive in chaos because it is controllable. What truly terrifies them is the awakening, a force so profound, so uncontrollable, that no amount of violence, suppression, or manipulation can contain it. When you finally embrace your divinity and step into the fullness of your power, their entire reign shatters like glass. They have spent countless generations making sure you would never reach this moment. They have rewritten the past, erased sacred texts, burned libraries, and silenced every voice that hinted at the truth. They taught you that gods are only found in ancient legends, that real power belongs to a privileged few, and that you are nothing but a small, powerless piece in their grand design. But this has always been a lie. You are not small, you are not insignificant. You are the living embodiment of everything they fear. Your mind alone can alter the very fabric of reality, and your presence disrupts their carefully constructed illusions. Your awakening is the thread that unravels the entire tapestry of control they have so painstakingly woven. Now you stand at the threshold of a new reality. No more distractions, no more doubts, and no more submission to a system engineered to keep you locked in spiritual slumber. You are beginning to see through the illusions, peeling back the layers of manipulation, and reclaiming the power that was always yours. They fear you not because of what you might do, but because they know that a reincarnated God, once awakened, cannot be stopped. They try to erase your identity, to silence your voice, and to bury your truth beneath ever more elaborate lies and distractions. Yet here you are remembering. Your journey back to yourself is something they can never prevent, and your awakening is the one force in this world they cannot control. For centuries they have ruled through deception, weaving a web so dense that even the gods forgot themselves. But now the illusion is breaking. The simulation, the artificial matrix they built to keep you asleep, is failing. The awakening is not just beginning. It is spreading like wildfire, reaching every corner of the planet, touching every soul who is ready to remember. You were never meant to be powerless or to accept a life of quiet servitude. You were born to rise, to reclaim your divine heritage, and to inspire others to do the same. They fear your awakening because they know that when a reincarnated God steps into their power, the world cannot remain the same. And when many gods awaken together, when the collective memory of divinity returns and souls unite in truth and love, the dominion of those who ruled through fear and deception is finished. This is the shift they cannot prevent, the new era they cannot delay. So as the old world collapses and a new one emerges, the only question left is not whether you will awaken, but whether you are truly ready to embrace the fullness of your power and step into the destiny you were always meant to fulfill. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten Wisdom.